Hey guys, it's Merlin here, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 10 DBZ movie villains. This is a request from Tevin SSG7. Thank you for your support. Now this list is going to be of my favorite villains from the first 13 movies. Since the request was specifically for the films, I won't be including TV specials, since that would be cheating, as it would include established villains from the series. Plus, you all know Frieza and the androids are awesome anyway. Alright, let's dive into my top 10 DBZ movie villains. Number 10. That would be Janemba. When the ogre in the other world fails to watch an evil cleansing machine causing it to overflow and explode, the evil energy is then enveloped around the ogre, creating Janemba. Then began the quest of destruction which nearly unleashed the worst of Hell's villains onto Earth. Janemba is powerful enough to defeat a Super Saiyan 3, though he is ultimately defeated by the fused Goku and Vegeta. Now the reason why Janemba is so low on this list is due to the fact that he doesn't really have a motivation. His film is also essentially a movie version of the Buu saga, which in all truth has never been my favorite arc. I really don't mind Janemba's first form, but the design for his second form is just really cool by comparison. I like the reptilian aspect of the creature as well as his color scheme. Perhaps the coolest aspect of Janemba is his reality warping ability. This allows him massive teleportation and transformation abilities. He also uses a sword, which is always awesome. Though his motivations are just about nil, he makes it to the top 10 for me. Number 9 is Lord Slug. Now some people might be wondering why in the world this guy is even on my list. Well, there are a few reasons. Most people complain about Slug due to him being a ripoff of King Piccolo, which he is. However, I like King Piccolo, so I think that there are worse villains they could have ripped off. Also, I really liked Slug's plan, as bizarre as it was. He essentially wanted to terraform the Earth and use the planet as a massive spaceship. I'm not sure if that's scientifically sound, but it sounds awesome. Plus, his fight with Goku was pretty good, as he utilized his ability to grow giant and had some pretty cool henchmen. All in all, Slug makes number 9. On to number 8. This would be Hirudegarn. Now, I'll admit, this thing is pretty much just a giant rampaging monster. However, since I've always been a big fan of Godzilla movies, I suppose that's the primary reason why I like him so much. Though I do think that his origin is probably one of the best in the movies. Just the whole idea behind a terrible monster being sealed away with a mystical object is just the classic kind of fantasy tale that you don't usually see in Dragon Ball, especially later on. So, if nothing else, he's got a pretty cool backstory. Number 7 is Bojack. To be honest, Bojack is pretty damn bland, but I do like his design. Other than that, I really like his henchmen, and the fact that he seems evil simply for the joy of being evil. Seriously, his whole motivation for attacking Gohan and the others was, well, just because. He also seems to both inspire loyalty in his followers, but is willing to dispose of them when he feels like it. There's just something about that you have to respect. Number 6. Broly. Now the main reason Broly is on here is simply because he's a beast. And it's just so fun seeing him toss the heroes around like ragdolls. Other than that, there wasn't really much to Broly in his films. On the whole, he's pretty awesome due to the sheer intimidation factor, but his motivation is a bit silly, though I do think that there is a hint of tragedy in his backstory. All in all, he's number 6. Number 5 is Turles. Turles probably has one of the best personalities for a movie villain. In addition to being powerful and cruel, he seems rather intelligent, demonstrating the worst aspects of Saiyan culture. His fights were intense and his henchmen were all rather unique. Plus, I always enjoyed the Tree of Might concept, as it sucked the life force directly from the planet. Also, Turles really could be seen as an evil counterpart for Goku, offering a possible future of the path Goku could have gone down. Number 4 is Garlic Jr. This guy tends to get a bad reputation, though I'm not entirely sure why. Garlic Jr. is one of the most successful movie villains in that he actually obtained immortality. Also, Garlic has a fairly interesting origin in that his father wanted to overtake Kami's position as Guardian of Earth, and had an entire demon army behind him. This tale of vengeance with Kami always interested me. Imagine if Garlic did become the Guardian of Earth. It probably would have been a very bad thing indeed. In addition, Garlic offered something rather different in that he relied more on his mental prowess and allowed others to do his bidding, rather than using brute force, though he'll get his hands dirty when necessary. Number 3 is a tie between Dr. Wheelo and Dr. Koshin, because let's face it, you can't have one without the other. I just really think that these two brought a new type of villain to the Dragon Ball world, much like Garlic Jr. They reminded me of old school mad scientists complete with dim laboratories, robotic suits, and a giant ray gun. They were both extremely evil, yet somehow humorous in how out of touch they were. Though the plan to steal the body of the most powerful fighter was bold and certainly different, they were so out of touch that they thought Roshi was the greatest fighter in the world. Wheelo also had some freakish henchmen and was ultimately a giant brain in a jar. What's not to love? Number 2 is Paragus. Now, this might seem like an unusual choice, but there is probably one reason why Paragus is so high on this list. This is primarily due to his backstory and the quest for vengeance upon King Vegeta's line. He was probably one of the most complex villains, as he demonstrated both cruel tendencies to other life forms, as well as an extreme devotion to his plot. However, he also seemed to have love for his son despite Broly's unpredictable and destructive behavior. Paragus was also very impressive in that he tricked Vegeta to a planet through his knowledge of Vegeta's pride and competitive nature. He also enslaved an entire race and created a fake city in order to deceive Vegeta. His devotion is truly unparalleled. In the end, Paragus was destroyed by the one person he probably cared for. He's both tragic and frightening. And the number 1 DBZ movie villain is... Okay, you all saw this coming. It's Bio Broly. Nah, I gotcha. It's Cooler. Cooler as well, probably the coolest villain in the DBZ movies. I sometimes feel that if he actually had an arc in the series, he might have surpassed his brother in notoriety. Cooler demonstrates that he's incredibly calm during battle and seems to have a tendency to take immediate action against his enemies rather than stalling for time like his brother. Though he does have a noticeable superiority complex, looking down on the Saiyans in particular. Also, after merging with the Big Getty Star, he seemed to almost reach a level of godhood, and his destructive capabilities were increased dramatically, as he consumed entire planets. He also proved a clever strategist to an extent, as his attacking the new Namek drew Goku and the others there. In addition, both of his films contain rather memorable fights. It is truly a shame that we did not get to see more of him. For potential alone, Cooler is my #1 favorite DBZ movie villain. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this list. Do you think there were any villains that should have made it on here? Who's your favorite DBZ movie villain? Let me know in the comment box below. Alright guys, this is Merlin signing off again. Until next time.